And welcome everyone, a very pleasant good morning / early afternoon here from Gilcone Field. An early start time for the Tornadoes as it's win or go home for both of these sides, the Brevard College Tornadoes and the Pfeiffer University Falcons. Falcons donning their yellow and white uniforms, NATOs in the all black. Both teams coming off of contests yesterday. Pfeiffer with a 14-13 victory over Methodist that saw 12 hit by pitches. The NATOs falling 9-3 at the hands of Methodist after that ball game. So each team looking to control their destiny in this tournament. Pfeiffer a bit more in the driver's seat in that department as opposed to the Tornadoes. Pfeiffer sitting at 1-0 in the tournament. But if the NATOs can pull out this victory, both teams, all three teams in this bracket, as a matter of fact, will be sitting with one loss apiece. And then the NATOs will be back in action tomorrow afternoon. Obviously, double elimination format here. NATOs will have Jacob Thompson on the bump, who has been the most consistent starter all season for them. The junior right-hander on the mound for Pfeiffer will be Jake Blevins, a guy that did pitch a little bit yesterday, got the save in Pfeiffer's victory. NATOs first time ever hosting the USA South Tournament. Obviously did not get the result that they wanted in Game 1. Looking for a victory here in Game 2. Otherwise, that's going to be it for the 2024 season. And, of course, not what we are looking for here as NATO Nation. We've got the lineups for both teams. We'll go ahead and take a look at both of those. For Pfeiffer, leading things off, it's number 6, the left fielder, Zach Farrell. After him, it's the first baseman, number 28, Wilson Laurer. Then in the 3-hole, the shortstop, number 22, Austin Wood. Batting cleanup, the designated hitter, number 55, Ben Barnes. In the 5 spot, the second baseman, number 5, Corey Lackey. After Lackey, it's the third baseman, number 26, Joe Javier. Then in the 7th hole, it's the catcher, number 15, Carter Merrill. Batting 8th, the center fielder, number 16, Thomas Ashby. And then rounding out the lineup, the right fielder, number 10, Robbie Brown. On the mound for Pfeiffer is Jake Blevins, who is 3-3 on the year with a 6.9 ERA in 12 appearances with 7 starts. Now for the Tornadoes, a bit of a shakeup at the top of the order. It'll be CP Pyle, the right fielder, number 49, leading things off. After CP, it's in the normal 2 spot and 3 spot, Luke Morton and Logan Clark. The shortstop, number 3, Morton, and the center fielder, number 15, Clark. Batting cleanup is the first baseman, number 26, Cale Ayler. After him, it's the heart and soul of this lineup, the third baseman, number 19, Frankie Vasquez. Batting 6th, a designated hitter, big power guy, number 25, Colson Miller. Normally in the leadoff spot, but now batting 7th in this one, the left fielder, number 1, Lucas Granada. In the 8th spot, Jacob Thompson's personal catcher, number 10, Hayden Jennings. And batting 9th, the second baseman, number 9, Logan Sawyer. Once again, on the mound for the Tornadoes is Jacob Thompson. Thompson 3-3 on the year, 10 games started, 11 appearances, an ERA of 6.94. And he did see this Pfeiffer team before. More on that once we get into the action. NATOs and Falcons coming right up, folks. Don't go anywhere. We'll step aside for just a moment, and we will be right here for the start of this one as Jacob Thompson takes the hill from Gilcone Field. Win or go home for the Tornadoes against the Pfeiffer Falcons. And there you have it, folks, the starting lineups for both teams. Jacob Thompson taking the hill for the NATOs this afternoon. NATOs need a victory to stay alive in this tournament. No better man for the job than the junior right-hander Jacob Thompson, a guy that we have seen dazzle in a few really big games, including a complete game last year in the USA South tournament against William Peace. So Thompson is up for the task. He's a big game pitcher and looking to continue his good pitching and good work against this Pfeiffer lineup, a really dangerous Pfeiffer lineup a lot of the time. He did face them game 2 at Pfeiffer on March 24th. Thompson went 5 innings, 5 hits, and 3 runs, a good outing for him. And the Tornadoes will take that, especially if he can go even a little bit deeper than that. Pfeiffer 19-19 for the regular season, 10-11 in the conference, 10-11 on the road, but their offense was 3rd in the USA South in runs at 8.5 per game, 3rd in slugging at 467, and they also drew a lot of walks, nearly 6 per game. Most importantly, though, this lineup has power. 1st in home runs in the USA South with 38 long balls, so Jacob Thompson going to look to keep the ball in the yard here in this one. The first 3 he'll face are Zach Farrell, Wilson Lohr, and Austin Wood. From left to right across the diamond on the infield, Vasquez, Morton, Sawyer, and Ayler. And then in the outfield, Granada, Clark, and Pyle. Hayden Jennings, Thompson's usual catcher behind the dish. And we are just about set to get going here at Gilcone Field. Jacob Thompson getting some last words of encouragement from his fellow juniors, Cale Ayler and Frankie Vasquez. 3 of the veteran leaders of this team all gathered up at the mound, and now they disperse as Jacob Thompson is just about ready to go here against Zach Farrell. Farrell had a 1061 OPS with 59 hits and a 366 batting average on the season in the regular season. Jacob's first pitch to him is taken near the feet for ball 1. 11 o'clock start time here at Gilcone Field as advertised. And the 1-0 from the right-hander is smashed in the air to right field. Going back on it, Pyle, and that one is gone. A leadoff home run for Zach Farrell. Not the start that the Tornadoes envisioned as he rounds the bases on pitch number 2. Farrell goes deep, and it's 1-0 Pfeiffer. Farrell had 8 home runs on the year, was a first-team all-conference selection, and he jumped on one there. As we mentioned, Pfeiffer has a lot of power. 38 home runs, led the USA South, and showing it there. So here's Wilson Lohr, have 4 home runs himself, and in the regular season went 8 for 14 against the NATOs as he takes outside. 8 for 14 in that series against Brevard, was 4th in the USA South in hits with 60. 1-0 from Thompson. Breaking ball just misses high. If you're Thompson, obviously way too early to get rattled off of something like that. 1-0 off the solo shot. Got to just keep doing your thing, keep pitching your game. It's so early. 2-0 misses there, 3-0. Austin Wood on deck. Lohr takes a strike on the outside corner. He was on his way down to first. Lohr drove in 5 runs yesterday, a 2-for-5 performance for him in Game 1, a 14-13 victory against Methodist. Thompson with the 3-1. It is sent in the air and a base hit. It drops in front of Logan Clark in center field, so both of the first 2 Pfeiffer Falcons have put the bat on the ball. A home run and a single. That'll bring up Austin Wood. Wood, a second-team All-USA South selection. Batted .311 on the year with 33 hits. Was 9th in on-base percentage in the conference. And this Pfeiffer lineup liking the pitches they're getting from Thompson here through the first 2 batters. Thompson's first pitch to Wood. Misses low and out. For Zach Farrell, that was his 9th home run of the year, including regular season. Now tied for the team lead with Ben Barnes, as Thompson finds the outside corner there. Could use a ground ball here early on. Thompson has fallen behind on the first pitch to each of the first 3 hitters that he's seen. The 1-1 in the dirt, blocked by Jennings. Hitters count now here for Austin Wood. Thompson comes set at the letters. Long pause. Now the 2-1. Sent on the ground, foul. Was going to be a tough play for Vasquez to even get one there. He was playing off the line. Now he hugs the line a little bit tighter. 2 balls and 2 strikes, nobody away, and a runner on first with a 1-0 Pfeiffer lead here after the solo homer from Farrell. Thompson comes home. Misses inside. Count runs full. Pfeiffer not making things easy on Thompson early on. Nor did we think that they would. Payoff pitch. Misses low and outside, ball 4. So a home run, a single, and a walk, and now Hayden Jennings is going to go talk to his pitcher, his battery mate, and calm him down as he gets ready to face Ben Barnes, who might be the biggest power threat in this lineup. Barnes had 9 home runs in the regular season with an OPS of 1247. 4th in the conference in slugging as well, 10th in on-base percentage. 33 hits, 9 of them being home runs. So over a quarter of the time that this guy gets a base knock, it leaves the yard. Thompson could really use a ground ball here against the lefty Barnes, who batted .367. Corey Lackey is on deck. Thompson still yet to record an out. 2 on, trailing by a run here in the top of the first. First pitch to Barnes is a breaking ball that drops in for a strike. First batter that Thompson has gotten out ahead of. Takes a look back at second. Now the 0-1. Misses 1-1. Lohr on second, Wood on first. 1-0 ball game. 1-1 sent in the air, deep right field. That one is curving and piles underneath it to make the grab. Lohr will tag up and make it to third. Runners on the corners with 1 away. Barnes got a good piece of that one, but not good enough as it tailed off right near the first base line, deep in right field, and Pyle was able to camp out underneath it for out number 1.
Now batting the second baseman, number 5, Corey Lackey.
So here's Corey Lackey. Lackey, a .295 hitter, 810 OPS on the year for him. Had 3 RBIs in that series against the NATOs over in Missenheimer, North Carolina, late March. Series that saw the NATOs took 2 out of 3 on the road. Thompson, a throw over to first, bounces off the chest of Cale Ayler. Nobody going anywhere, though. I'll tell you, between Crosby and Thompson so far, these pitchers have made Cale Ayler work over there on these pickoff attempts. Haven't hit him in the chest very often yet. One away, runners on the corners here, 1-0. Lackey, the batter. Another throw over to first, and they got him. They put that one on Cale Ayler. Bends over a little bit after applying the tag, but a big out number 2. A nice pickoff there from Jacob Thompson. Caught Austin Wood sleeping over there, and now all of a sudden Thompson an out away from keeping this one at 1-0. But Wilson Lohr still stands 90 feet away. Got to take care of Lackey here. Send it over to the Tornado bats. First pitch. Strike. That was a big out. Thompson, a look over at third. Now the 0-1. Sent on the ground, foul lightly towards the Tornado dugout. Jock Pledger making a play. There he is. Didn't get to mention him yesterday, I don't think. Broke a DiMaggio-like streak of mentioning Jock Pledger on the broadcast. How could you not? Thompson comes home with the 0-2. Sent on the ground. Morton has it. Throw on to first is going to be booted by Ayler, but he's able to pick it up just in time and get the out. Morton with a low throw. Ayler bobbled it for a moment and scooped it back up right as Lackey was coming through the bag in time for out number 3. Pfeiffer gets a run on a leadoff solo homer from Zach Farrell, and that's it. Thompson does good damage control, and the Natos trail at 1-0 as we head to the home half of the first. Pyle, Morton, and Clark due up when we get back. Bottom of the first, Natos going to take their first hacks against Jake Blevins. Blevins, a right-hander, went 3-3 in 12 appearances, 7 starts, 41 strikeouts, 17 walks, a 6.9 ERA, very similar to Jacob Thompson's slightly higher whip at 1.85. Blevins did pitch yesterday afternoon. He got the save in that 14-13 victory over Methodist. Went an inning, gave up 2 hits and a run, but got the save, and now he faces CP Pyle, who's in the leadoff spot. CP batted 6th in yesterday's game, now leading things off as he sends one in the air to center field on the first pitch. Underneath it is Ashby, and he makes the grab, 1 pitch, 1 out. A bit surprised to see Pyle swinging there like that. Yesterday, a big problem for the Natos was the over-aggression, over-eagerness, and a lack of patience at the plate, one could say. There was a lot of first pitch, second pitch swings that resulted in outs, and it carries over at least to the first batter of this game, CP Pyle, who flies out on pitch number 1 from Blevins. Here's Morton, who takes a strike on the outside corner. Luke went 1 for 4 yesterday with a single. In that normal 2 spot. As he reaches out, pokes at one. It's a soft roller to second. Morton's going to try and dig it out. He will not get there in time. So 3 pitches, 2 outs. And not the start that you wanted if you're the Nato offense, but obviously say that in a pretty minimal sense very early on here in just 1-0. But the top 2 batters retired in CP Pyle and Luke Morton. So here's Logan Clark with 2 down in the home half of the first. Clark takes lone outside for ball 1. Blevins trying to make quick work of the top 3 in the Nato lineup. He misses high and tight to the Clark, 2-0. Clark trying to get aboard with Cale Ayler behind him. 2-0. Sent on the ground sharply. Fielded at second by Lackey. Throw on to first is in time. A quick 1-2-3 first for Jake Blevins. Natos trail at 1-0 as we head to the top of the second. Javier Merrill and Ashby due up for the Falcons in Jacob Thompson's second inning of work. Top of the second, Jacob Thompson getting back to work here against Joe Javier. Javier, a .310 hitter. Batting in that 6th spot, playing third base for the Falcons. It'll be him, then Carter Merrill and Thomas Ashby here in inning number 2. Thompson winds and deals, misses outside. For Thompson, got out of some fairly alarming trouble in that first inning. Gave up the leadoff home run and then a single and a walk. Him and the defense made a couple of plays to limit it just to the 1 run as that one's fouled off by Javier. Got a fly out to right field, and then Thompson was able to pick off Austin Wood over at first. Then a nice defensive play by Cale Ayler to scoop up an errant Luke Morton throw. Thompson misses low there, 2-1. Two-one offering as a breaking ball fouled off. He was late. Two balls and 2 strikes here to the Pfeiffer third baseman. NATO's likely hoping for at least 6 innings from Thompson. They got 6 from Crosby yesterday. That one misses outside. Count runs full to the leadoff man here in the second, Javier. Payoff pitch. Misses low and outside again. Thompson frustrated with himself. Missed glove side a couple of times there and a leadoff walk. Leadoff walk's a bit of a cardinal sin when it comes to baseball. Thompson going to work to make sure it doesn't come back to bite him. Here's Carter Merrill. Merrill, a 179 hitter, 5 for 28 on the year. If you're Thompson, you go at him here. Another pickoff throw over to first. Thompson's got a really quick move, but Javier able to get back in safely. Thompson, a long pause. Now goes to work on Merrill, who takes strike 1. Merrill in the box, Ashby behind him. And then Robbie Brown in the 9 hole if it gets there. Another long pause, and now the righty's 0-1. Breaking ball just misses the inside corner. Thompson wanted it. Thompson taking his time in between pitches, which is not like him. Usually a very fast worker. Now the 1-1. Sent sharply on the ground. Morton to second for 1. Sawyer on to first. Double play. That's what the doctor ordered there. 6-4-3. And all just like that, the bases are empty with 2 outs.
Now batting center fielder number 16, Thomas Ashby.
Morton handled the hop, got it over to Sawyer, who delivered a strike to Ayler in plenty of time. It was a hard-hit ball, but right to Luke Morton. And here's Thomas Ashby with 2 down. Ashby takes strike 1. That's big for Thompson, who was already at 25 pitches after the walk. Now sitting at 29. Swing and a miss on the curveball there. A big wave with nothing doing for Ashby. No balls and 2 strikes. 2 away. Thompson trying to send us to the bottom of the second. The pitch. Skips in the dirt to the backstop. Now 1-2 count. Thompson still ahead of the Pfeiffer center fielder. Thompson, the windup. Off the hands. In the air, that one's going to drop. In between Morton and the left fielder Granada. Perfectly placed cue shot there. And a 2-out base hit for Pfeiffer. bloop single there for Ashby sets things up for Robbie Brown.
Now batting right fielder number 10, Robbie Brown.
Brown in the 9 spot, but did bat .333 with an OPS of .1005 with 5 home runs. Thompson will have to be careful with him here. Guy with some power. 2 away, though. Got to let it rip. Swing and a miss. Got him to go fishing for that one. Brown knows it, too. Thompson at 33 pitches here through an inning and 2/3. Going to try and get that number down over the next few frames if he can retire Brown. Another pickoff move, and they got him again! Ashby is picked off at first, second pickoff of the ball game for Jacob Thompson in the first 2 innings, and that move has been lethal. Pfeiffer gets a couple of guys on board, including a single from Ashby, but nothing doing. A pickoff there from Jacob Thompson to end the top of the second. Ayler, Vasquez, and Miller due up in the bottom of the second here at Gilcone Field. Pfeiffer leads it 1-0. Bottom of the second, Cale Ayler, Frankie Vasquez, and Colson Miller due up. Ayler, a struggle yesterday, 0 for 4, as he takes strike 1 there. Obviously, second team all-conference first baseman, and not the time to go cold if you are number 26, so looking to find something here in the box today against Pfeiffer and Jake Blevins. The 0-1 is smashed on a line, and a nice backhand pick there by the second baseman, Lackey, who gets the throw on to first in time to retire Ayler. That was smashed off of Ayler's bat. Looked like it was headed for the outfield grass. Lackey kind of turned his head and made a no-look backhanded stop. And there's out number 1. As a matter of fact, the last 3 Tornado batters have all been retired via the 4-3 putout, so Lackey's been busy over there at second. Here's Frankie Vasquez, who went 2 for 4 yesterday with a double. Frankie sends one off the glove of the third baseman, Javier. The throw by the shortstop in to first is not in time. Austin Wood made a heck of an effort. That one careened off the glove of Javier. Wood picked it up and launched a throw across the diamond nearly in time to get Vasquez, who's not the fastest Tornado, but Frankie's able to beat it out for an infield single. That was a laser smoked off the glove of Javier. Here's Colson Miller. Miller went 1 for 4 yesterday, had a single through the left side. And he takes strike 1 in the outside corner. One problem for the Natos yesterday, they did have 8 hits, but only 2 extra base hits. Those came in the form of doubles from Logan Clark and Frankie Vasquez, so obviously going to be looking to find some more gaps in this one against the Falcons. The 0-1 to Miller, a big swing and a miss, and he's under a lot of pitches right now. The last couple of days, he's gotten some juicy breaking balls, but has just missed underneath them. Now in an 0-2 hole. Very clear what the intent is as he takes a breaking ball right down the middle for strike 3. That one looked like it was going to hit him and dropped perfectly into the zone. A backwards K for Blevins, and there's out number 2. Now it'll be Lucas Granada with 2 away and Frankie Vasquez over there at first. Frankie having a conversation with Wilson Lohr. They've been chopping it up over there like some old friends. First pitch to Granada is high and tight, 1-0. NATO's playing for behind early on here, just 1-0. Courtesy of the Zach Farrell solo homer. 1-0 is nearly going to hit Granada, does not. Bounces out of the mid of Merrill, it's 2-0. Two balls and no strikes. Pitch. On the outside corner, 2-1. Granada shakes his head a bit. Thought he had a 3-0 count. If Granada reaches, it's Hayden Jennings on deck. 2-1. Way low and out, 3-1. If Granada walks, the NATOs will have their first man in scoring position of the ball game. But we'll see what Blevins comes with here. Comes set of the belt. Now the 3-1. High and tight. Ball 4. A 2-out walk. And the NATOs have 2 aboard, including Frankie Vasquez in scoring position down at second for Hayden Jennings.
Now batting for the Tornadoes, the catcher number 10, Hayden Jennings.
And for Jennings, a lot of improvement in his junior year as opposed to his sophomore season. A .304 hitter this year with 17 base hits. Splitting time with Kenny Pridmore behind the plate. His hitting has come around a lot as a junior and looking to come through in a big spot here early on. He takes strike 1 on the outside corner. Vasquez on second, Granada on first. Jennings trying to find some grass. Blevins trying to escape the second unscathed. The 0-1. Excuse me, swing popped up on the right side and caught by the second baseman Lackey. Don't think that Jennings meant to go after it, but he pops out to end the threat. NATO's strand 2. They trail at 1-0 as we head to inning number 3. Jacob Thompson back out there. Top of the third, Robbie Brown, the number 9 hitter, back in the box. Brown was up last inning, but Thompson picked off the runner Ashby at first, so a clean slate for Robbie Brown, who takes ball 1. In that at-bat, Brown was made foolish looking by Thompson's curveball. Jacob stepping off as Brown gets time and steps out of the box real quick. The 1-0. Misses downstairs, 2-0. Thompson gave up a leadoff walk back in the second. Obviously don't want to repeat that, playing with fire at that point. The 2-0. Misses 3-0, and he's in danger of doing just that. 3-0. Thompson right down the middle to get back into it, 3-1. See what he comes with here. The 3-1. Low and outside. That one gets to the backstop and another leadoff walk. Brown quickly to first. Wanted to make sure that Jennings got to that one in a timely fashion. He did, so just the one bag. It's a leadoff walk, and it brings up Zach Farrell, who's responsible for the only run in this ball game so far. It was a leadoff home run. Thompson hoping to get a better result the second go-around. First pitch. Misses low. Farrell, a dangerous hitter. The 1-0. Low, and Thompson all of a sudden struggling to find the strike zone. Coming into the inning at 32 pitches, not what you wanted if you were Thompson. Wanted a quick inning. Having to work here early on, though. 2-0. It's a big wave and a miss there out in front of a breaking ball. Thompson still behind 2-1. A hitter's count here for Farrell. He comes home. Misses low. 3-1. Certainly, you don't want to lead off walk, but even more so, you don't want to walk the first two batters of an inning. So Thompson going to try and climb back in here. 3-1. Another throw over to first. A soft one there. Ayler digs up out of the grass. The dirt, rather. 3 balls and a strike. Pitch from Thompson is smashed foul. A full count now here to Farrell. Thompson needs a strike. It would certainly take a ground ball. Although Farrell, a leadoff hitter with some speed, not sure if he could double him off without a really clean exchange. Payoff pitch. Breaking ball set in the air. Right field. Back on it, Pyle. Him and Clark both have room. It'll be Clark who makes the grab. Farrell hit that one pretty deep, but not deep enough. Gilcone Field will hold it. And there's out number 1. Breaking ball hung a little bit, and Farrell just under it. Here's Wilson Lohr. He singled his first time. Can we talk about Pfeiffer kind of ripping off the St. Louis Cardinals with their uniforms, though? These guys aren't even the Cardinals. They're the Falcons, and they've got the 2 little red bird on the bat on their jerseys. I mean, I respect it, but let's have some originality, guys. St. Louis Cardinals uniforms in yellow also is just kind of weird to see, but again, it's respect. One away, Robbie Brown over on first. Big swing and a miss there from Lohr. He was guessing fastball there, and he guessed wrong. Nearly spun in a circle hacking at that one. He regroups here down 0-1. Lohr then Wood both reached their first time. Lohr fouls this one back. Something Lohr is fired up about, intensely saying something back over to his dugout. No balls and 2 strikes. 1 away and the pitch. Sent on the ground lightly. Vasquez has it. Throw on to second. In time for 1 on to first. Not in time. It gets away from Ayler. Lohr will take the turn, and Ayler is looking at first. No one's there to cover it anyways, but even if they were, he bobbled it. Lohr will be at first. A fielder's choice there for out number 2. 5-4 on the fielder's choice. Here's Austin Wood with 2 down. If that one was hit with a bit more velocity, Vasquez had a chance at the double play, but a soft roller, only had the chance at one. Wood walked his first plate appearance. And Thompson steps off. He wanted the new ball, or Jennings did. Regardless, they do get it. Jacob at 46 pitches with 2 outs here in the top of the third. Breaking ball nearly gets a piece of Austin Wood. He gets out of the way, 1-0. Big wave and a miss there. That curveball is starting to bite. Pfeiffer's looked silly on a few of them. Ball and a strike with 2 away. Thompson the pitch. Misses 2-1. Hitters count, the pitch. Sent in the air. Deep right field, but not deep enough. Pyle underneath it. He's got it for out number 3. Thompson out of the third unscathed. Pfeiffer still leads at 1-0 as we head to the home half. Sawyer, Pyle, and Morton due up for the NATOs. Home half of the third, Logan Sawyer up. NATO's only 1 hit so far. That was an infield hit for Frankie Vasquez. So the Tornadoes yet to get a base knock out of the infield. Sawyer looking to change that here in his first at-bat. He went 0 for 4 in yesterday's contest against Methodist. First pitch he sees from Blevins misses outside. Blevins only had 20 pitches. Had a 6-pitch first inning, 13-pitch second. NATO's going to try and make him work here in the third as Sawyer takes strike 1. Similar spot to pitch number 1. Blevins, the 1-1. Wave and a miss there. That one was tailing away from him. Nice, possibly cutter there from Blevins. Had some good movement on it and fooled Sawyer, who's behind 1-2. He sends this one into right field. It's going to drop. Base hit number 2 for the NATOs, and it flips the lineup over. A leadoff single.
Now batting for the Tornadoes, the right fielder number 49.
Bring up Pyle. CP flew out to center his first time. Went 1 for 4 yesterday. Put the ball in the air quite a lot. A fly out to right field yesterday, a fly out to left, a line out to center. A single as well. CP takes strike 1. Coach Victory trying something we've seen once or twice, which is putting CP Pyle in that leadoff spot. A quick guy, smaller stature hitter Lucas Granada, usually in that leadoff spot, did have a struggle yesterday as CP goes way down to try and get that one. It's in the dirt. He swings and misses. But Pyle in that leadoff spot for this contest against Pfeiffer. He has a runner on first with nobody out, but he's behind 0-2. Pitch from Blevins. Whoa. Tough take there by Pyle. Breaking ball just missed the zone. CP still behind 1-2. Blevins misses outside again, 2-2. On deck is Luke Morton. He grounded out to second his first time. The 2-2. Fouled off the hands down the third base line past the NATO dugout. .29 pitches for Blevins. Again, NATO's going to try and run that up here over the course of the next 2 or 3 innings. 2-2. Breaking ball misses high. Good battle here from CP, who was behind 0-2. Could have been on first if not for a chase early in the at-bat. Instead, it's a full count. Blevins. Payoff. High, ball 4. First 2 NATOs of the inning reach. And a good opportunity here for Morton.
Now batting for the Tornadoes, shortstop number 3, Luke Morton.
Morty to the dish here. He's 0 for 1. Was 1 for 4 yesterday. Going to try and keep the line moving here against Blevins, and the best opportunity the NATOs have had to this point here in the bottom of the third. First pitch, high. All of a sudden, Blevins missing upstairs consistently, and now his catcher, Carter Merrill, wants to have a chat. If Morty can get aboard here, you've got Logan Clark, Cale Ayler, and Frankie Vasquez all behind him. And Ado's still looking for an extra base hit. Now would be a good time for one. Again, only had the 2 yesterday, doubles from Clark and Vasquez. 6 singles, 8 total hits. Trying to lock back in here is Blevins. 1-0, Morton shows bunt. It's popped back. No one's going to be able to get it. Poorly executed bunt, but it hurts nothing, except for adding a strike to the count for Morton. NATO shortstop takes a moment, thinks about what he wants to do, and steps back in here. Merrill pops a squat and sets the mask on. One and one here to Morton. Right-hander Blevins. Another bunt shown. Another bunt popped up. Merrill goes for it. He makes the catch. 2 poorly executed bunt attempts there by Luke Morton and a waste of an at-bat for out number 1.
Now batting for the Tornadoes, center fielder number 15, Logan Clark.
So a squandered opportunity there, and if I was Morton, I would have just swung away. Obviously, that might have been a manufactured bunt call from Coach Victory and the crew, though. So not saying that in a way to bash Morton. Not sure if it was his idea or not. One away, here's Clark, who takes ball 1. And the other thing with that is it was a 1-0 count before Morton started trying to bunt, and Blevins had not been throwing consistent strikes. I would have made him come to me. But that's why I'm in the box up here, and they're in the box down there. 1-0. Misses high and tight, 2-0. Starting to see some stirring in that Pfeiffer bullpen, some stretching. If Blevins continues to miss, might see somebody new. Clark ahead 2-0. Checks his swing and takes one down the middle for strike one. Didn't want it. Realized he was a little bit late. Cale Ayler on deck. NATO's with 2 on and 1 out. Clark takes ball 3 outside. Blevins in danger of loading the bases with 1 away. Big pitch coming here. 3-1. 3-1 to Clark. Sent in the air, center field, and that one is going to be caught by Ashby. Hung up just long enough. He was playing deep, had to come in on a sprint, and there's out number 2. Clark got a good piece of the bat on it, but couldn't find any grass. So it'll be up to Cale Ayler here in the third. NATO's got the first 2 aboard. Since then, Luke Morton popped out on a bunt, and then the Clark fly out just there. Cale 0 for 5 in the series. He is due, or in the tournament rather. 2 different teams that the NATOs have faced. Used to the NATOs playing in series. First pitch. Cale takes. That one's out of the mitt. Sawyer will take third. Pyle will take second. A pass ball there. Merrill couldn't squeeze it. And just like that, if Cale Ayler can find some grass, the NATOs could take a lead here in the third. Tying run 90 feet away. Go ahead run at second. Here in the bottom of the third inning. Ayler trying to produce. He's been so good all year and throughout his entire Tornado career. A little mini slump right now, though, trying to break out of it. Blevins, the 1-0. Low and outside, 2-0. Frankie Vasquez looming on deck if Ayler can reach. Whether by a hit or a walk. Ayler sends one sharply on the ground. A nice play there by Lackey, who's made a couple. He makes the play on to first, and Lackey just saved 2 runs. NATO's still empty-handed as we head to the fourth. 1-0 Falcons. Here's Ben Barnes to start off the fourth. Barnes flew out to right field his first time. This one roped into the right center field gap. Clark going to cut it off. Barnes rounding first, and he will hit the brakes. A great throw in from Logan Clark to hold Barnes to a single. That one was roped. Nice play out there in center.
Now batting second baseman number 5, Corey Lackey.
Here's Lackey. Grounded out to short his first time. That one fouled back. Throw back over to first. Barnes in safely. Third time in 4 innings that the Pfeiffer leadoff man has reached, but so far, only the 1 run to show for it. The 0-1. Showing bunt. Missing. A throwback over to first by Jennings. Not going to get Barnes. Throw over to first. Not in time to get Barnes. Lackey behind 0-2. Thompson throws a breaking ball. Can't get him to chase. 1-2. Thompson ahead 1-2. Long pause. Another pitch. Misses 2-2. Count even here. Ben Barnes over at first. Thompson trying to finish off Corey Lackey. Sitting at 55 pitches here in the 4th. Two. Breaking ball on the ground. Vasquez to second for 1. On to first. Not in time. Fielder's choice there. Good job by Lackey to run that one out and avoid the double play. Barnes was moving quickly over to second. Nearly was able to get in there. Now kind of holding at his back a little bit.
Now batting third baseman number 26, Joe Javier.
5-4 fielder's choice. One away now for Joe Javier, who walked in his first plate appearance. Breaking ball just misses there from Thompson. If he could get another ground ball like the one he just got, the Natos could get out of this 4th. Nobody moving in either pen right now. 1-0 sent on the ground, past the diving Morton. A single in a left. Pfeiffer now has 2 on with 1 away. Javier finds a hole. And it's first and second with 1 away for Carter Merrill, who grounded into a double play his first time. That's the good news. If Thompson could get him to roll another one over, that would be perfect for what the Natos are looking for here. It was a hard hit double play. He skies this one. Right side, Pyle underneath it. We'll see if Lackey tags. He does not. Pyle gets the throw in quickly. It's cut off by Morton behind the pitcher's mound, and there's out number 2.
Now batting center fielder number 16, Thomas Ashby.
Jacob Thompson sitting at 59 pitches here in the 4th. That pitch count has come down a little bit over the course of the last couple of innings. Still has an out to get here against Thomas Ashby, though. Pfeiffer does have a runner in scoring position. Still a 1-0 ball game in the top of the 4th. That one's in there for a strike. For Pfeiffer, 1 run on 5 hits. Natos still yet to break through. Only 2 hits for them in the first 3 innings. Thompson's 0-1. Swing and a miss there, and Jacob a strike away from sending us to the bottom of the 4th. Doesn't have a strikeout on his ledger yet. Only 1 for Blevins on the Pfeiffer side. The 0-2. Swing and a miss. There it is. Strikeout number 1 of the afternoon puts an end to the Pfeiffer 4th. Still 1-0 as we head to the home half. Vasquez, Miller, and Granada. Bottom of the fourth, Frankie Vasquez going to try and set the tone here. NATO's needing some runs, trailing by just the 1-0 here in the bottom of the fourth, but only 2 base hits so far on the afternoon. Those came from Frankie and Logan Sawyer. Frankie's was an infield single as he takes strike 1 in the outside corner. It bounced off the glove of Joe Javier. It was a hot shot. Frankie trying to set the tone here in the fourth. The 0-1. Chopped over the head of Steve Huckey. That's right, we're keeping an eye on him over there in that coach's box. In coach's mind, he's an Austin Riley. I think he might be more of a Pat Riley. The 0-2, taken high. It's all love for our favorite Iowan, though. The 1-2. Popped up, right side. Coming in, Lorer and Merrill can't make the catch. Had room in front of his dugout. Couldn't get it, and Frankie stays alive. A ball and 2 strikes here to Vasquez. Was blessed there that Merrill did not catch that one. 1-2 from Blevins. Frankie nearly goes after it. He holds off. The count's even at 2. Blevins, a 2-2 offering. Swing and a miss. Frankie couldn't get a piece of that one, and he set down on strike. Second strikeout for Blevins. And it'll bring up Colson Miller, who was the only other strikeout victim so far. His was a backwards K. Blevins got him with a really nice curveball that dropped back in. 1 away. Blevins, the pitch. Taken outside, 1-0. Taken high, 2-0. NATO's have got the leadoff man on once in 4 tries. That was last inning in the third. Obviously, the NATO's got the first 2 on and couldn't do anything with it. 2-0. Taken high, 3-0. Both teams have left 4 on base to this point. Both pitchers twirling it pretty well. 3-0. Strike on the outside corner. Miller yet to display that power that we saw over the last 3 weeks. See what he's looking for here. The 3-1 is going to hit him. Miller takes one off the left arm. Not sure it felt great for him, but he will get to go over to first. Hit by pitch there. And with 1 away, the NATO's have a runner aboard for Lucas Granada, who walked his first trip. Granada adding some more strength to that bottom 3 in the order for the NATO's. Obviously, normally a leadoff hitter, normally a guy at the top of the order, now sitting in the lower third as he's taking a bit of exception to that strike. Granada behind 0-1. Pitch from Blevins in the dirt. Jennings on deck. He popped out last time up. One in the air, shallow left field, and that one is going to drop. Throw into second is going to be in time to get Miller, though. He had to hold up. Wasn't sure if it was going to drop or not. It did in front of Zach Farrell. But they came up and made a throw. Were able to retire Miller. So that'll go down as a fielder's choice. An 8-4 fielder's choice, not something you see every day. Now 2 away as Hayden Jennings steps in and takes ball 1. Just really tough for the NATO. Seems like the NATO opponents have gotten every single break over these last 24 hours. That's a strike in there to Jennings. Tornadoes also just have not put up super competitive at-bats. Been better in this one, but yesterday especially, as Jennings takes the ball outside. Just trailing by a run, far from an unovercomable deficit. But they do need to eventually fix that 0 on the scoreboard. Blevins misses high and outside. Granted, Blevins is a guy that the Tornadoes did not see in the regular season, but a 6.9 ERA. And the Tornadoes have yet to put anything on the board against him. But you could say the same for Thompson, who's only given up the 1 run, who has a 6.94 ERA. Jennings fouls one off the hands down the right side. Count runs full. Obviously not super familiar with Pfeiffer baseball, but I will say for Thompson, his performances don't necessarily match his peripherals and his base statistics, so possibly the same for Blevins, but there's no pitcher the Tornadoes will be happy putting up 0 against through 3 2/3. Payoff pitch. Jennings smokes it in the air to center field, but right to Thomas Ashby for out number 3. NATOs with another scoreless inning. They still trail at 1-0 as we head to the top of the 5th at Gilcone Field. Top of the 5th here at Gilcone Field. Pitchers duel so far, 1-0 ball game. Jacob Thompson back out there. Thompson sitting at 62 pitches as he gets ready to face off against the number 9 hole hitter, Robbie Brown. Brown walked his first time. He takes a ball in the dirt to start off this AB. Brown, Farrell, and Lohr, 3 dangerous hitters, due up. (1-0) just misses the corner. 2-0. We've seen some light warming up from Andy Farringer over in the pen. Some light stretching at least. Not a whole lot of throwing yet, but now we do see him start to throw. Thompson's 2-0. Breaking ball in the inside corner for a strike. Hitters count here to Robbie Brown. 2-1. Breaking ball, chopped, foul. Frankie able to track it down, but outside the third baseline. 2 balls and 2 strikes here to Brown. Thompson looking to retire the 9-hole hitter. As a matter of fact, retiring the leadoff man has been a struggle for Thompson. 3 out of 4 times he has failed to do so. Trying to do it here, though. The 2-2. Sent in the air, right field. Pyle retreats back. On the track, he changes course and makes the grab for out number 1. Fly out to right field there for Brown, and it brings up Farrell, who is responsible for the only run of the ball game so far with the leadoff homer back in the first. He flew out to deep center field his last time, so Thompson going to try and make sure he keeps the ball low in the zone against this guy. Now 9 home runs on the year after that blast in the first. He takes ball 1. Farrell and Laurer combined 2 for 4 with a home run and a single. Those are the 2 due up right now. Farrell in the box, the 1-0. Misses 2-0. .69 pitches for Jacob Thompson. The 2-0. Misses 3-0, and Thompson might just want no part of Farrell, who has put a good piece of the bat on the baseball both times up, including depositing one into the trees in right field back in the first. 3-0. In there for a strike. 3 balls and a strike here to the leadoff man, Zach Farrell, the left fielder for the Falcons. And now the 3-1 is fouled off. Farrell went after ball 4. Now the count's full. Thompson might have an inning or 2 left, depending on how quickly he can get these 3 outs in the 5th. That one's roped to right field, but right to CP Pyle. Out number 2 there, allowed out number 2. Bases are empty for Pfeiffer with Wilson Laurer stepping in.
Now batting first baseman number 28, Wilson Moore.
Laurer 1 for 2. Singled and grounded into a fielder's choice. Two away. This one off the hands, right to Frankie Vasquez. A cue shot for out number 3. Thompson continues his good work. It's a 1-2-3 5th. NATO's trailing at 1-0. Sawyer, Pyle, and Morton, the batters due up for the NATOs as they try to break through in the bottom of the 5th. Bottom of the fifth, Logan Sawyer due up. NATO's still yet to break through here against Jake Blevins. Blevins, through 4 innings, has just allowed the 2 hits. As he faces off against the 9-0 hitter, Logan Sawyer, who has one of those hits. A nice play there by Javier to corral that one. The throw on to first, though, is booted. That'll be an E5 to put Sawyer aboard. The leadoff man is on for the NATOs. Second time that Sawyer has reached. The first by the single, this time by the error. And it flips the lineup card back over to CP Pyle. As a matter of fact, Sawyer right there, only the 5th base runner that the NATOs have had. 2 walks, 2 hits, and then that error right there. Pyle 0 for 1. He shows bunt and bunts it straight into the Pfeiffer dugout. NATOs have struggled with their bunt attempts so far. See if Pyle decides to swing away after that. He walked back in the 3rd, flew out to center on the first pitch that the NATOs saw in the 1st. The 0-1 nearly gets a piece of him and gets away from Merrill, but not far enough for Sawyer to make a try at second. I think with a better jump, Sawyer could have got there, though. Merrill wasn't exactly quick in getting to it. Ball and a strike here to CP Pyle, the right fielder. Pitch. Grounded over the head of Javier. It's fair down the line. Huckey's waving Sawyer to third. It's picked up in left field by Farrell, and Sawyer's going to hit the brakes. It's a double for CP Pyle, and the NATOs have the go-ahead run in scoring position with men on second and third. Huge base hit for CP Pyle, only the 3rd of the game for the NATOs, but it sets him up in a great position for Luke Morton here. Morton tried to bunt his last at-bat, popped out to the catcher in foul ground. Got to imagine he's swinging away here with runners on second and third and nobody away. Huge opportunity for the Tornadoes here with nobody out. First pitch nearly hits Morton. He takes for a ball, and the most energy that we've seen from the Tornado dugout to this point. Blevins, the most trouble that he's run into. He's gotten out of a couple of slight jams. This is a pretty big one. 1-0 here to Morton. Set on the ground. Sawyer's going to take off for home. This ball game is tied. The throw on to first is in time. An RBI for Morton. NATOs will sacrifice an out for a run. We're all knotted up 1-1. Go-ahead run still in scoring position with just 1 away for Logan Clark, who's 0 for 2. A ground out to second and a fly out to center. Got a good piece of it last time, but right to Thomas Ashby out in center. If he could find some grass here, the NATOs will take the lead. First pitch is going to hit him. NATOs with 2 on. One away for Cale Ayler. Cale coming in from the left side. Cale 0 for 6 in the series. He is due to break through here. And can you imagine how loud that dugout would get if Cale could find a way to put one over the fence here? All-time NCAA era home run leader for the Tornadoes, Cale Ayler with 14. Perfect time for number 15 if you ask me. 1 away, 2 on. Ayler takes strike 1 on the outside corner. Frankie Vasquez on deck if Ayler can't get the job done. 1-1 ball game. Playoff baseball at Gil Cone Field. And has lived up to the hype here so far in the NATO's second game. The 0-1. Ayler takes outside. You know Ayler's looking for that pitch in on the hands. He likes that pitch he can pull. Not a big fan of that outside corner, which is where Blevins looks like he's trying to go. 1 away. Pyle on second, Clark on first. Ayler takes strike 2 on that outside corner. That's exactly what Blevins is trying to do. A ball and 2 strikes here to the NATO first baseman. He's grounded out to second twice. A ball and 2 strikes here to Ayler. The pitch. Outside 2-2. Blevins has not strayed away from that outer third. Clearly has not been what Ayler has been looking for yet to take a swing this at-bat. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Vasquez on deck. Ayler trying to keep the line moving. The 2-2 pitch. Fouled off. Ayler stays alive. He got one further inside that time. Just taps it back foul, though. .73 pitches for Blevins. Him and Thompson starting to pull even in terms of pitch count. Got a little bit of motion in that Pfeiffer pen. Doesn't look like any throwing yet, though. Another 2-2. Ayler takes outside, and the count runs full. NATO's starting to take some really good at-bats here in this bottom of the 5th. Clark on first after the hit by pitch. CP Pyle had the double. He's on second. Payoff pitch from the righty. Ayler fouls it off. Jam shot down the first base line. Pitch number 8 of the at-bat on its way from Blevins. Him and Cale Ayler playing a game of chess right now. Time for Cale to bust out of the slump. He's 0 for 6 here in the USA South Tournament thus far. Looking for base hit number 1, looking to give the NATOs a lead. Payoff pitch. Low and inside, the bases are loaded. Ayler's fired up, and who else is coming up but Frankie Vasquez? And that walk-up music has got to sound haunting for Pfeiffer right now. We got time being called. We'll see if we get a new arm in. There are 2 righties warming up in that Pfeiffer pen. Looks like a couple of right-handers warming up. One of them is Jordan Bird, a 6'10 senior. We'll see if they take the ball from Blevins here or not with the bases loaded. Will they let him face Frankie Vasquez? And if they do, will Vasquez make them pay? This is as intense of a moment as we've had in this game thus far. Tied 1-1. It looks like Blevins is going to be allowed to stay in against Frankie Vasquez. And everyone here at Gilcone Field that is a part of NATO Nation is hoping that Vasquez makes them pay for it. The other arm up for Pfeiffer is Dylan Dula, who pitched yesterday, a freshman out of Granite Falls. Dula pitched yesterday against Methodist, went 2 2/3, 2 hits, gave up a run. And we'll see what Frankie Vasquez has in store here. No stranger to the big moments. He's 1 for 2, an infield single and a strikeout. Nowhere to put him with 1 away in a 1-1 ball game. First pitch taken all the way, and it's a strike on the outside corner. Frankie did not like that call. A bit of a shake of the head and maybe a comment to the home plate umpire. Now he steps back in, ready to go. Pyle on third, Clark on second, Ayler on first after the walk. The 0-1. Way outside, a good stop there from Merrill. If that got away from him, Pyle was scoring. Frankie Vasquez, once again, lives for the moments like these. You remember the walk-off last year against eventual conference champion North Carolina Wesleyan. Just a model of consistency. First team all-conference all 3 years as a NATO. The 1-1. Vasquez in the air. This should be deep enough to score. Pyle gets on the bag. He's ready to go. Ashby makes the grab. Pyle's going to take off. The throw is not going to make it. Pyle scores, and the NATOs take the lead here in the bottom of the 5th, 2-1. I'm sure Frankie would have liked more there, but he'll take the RBI. He's excited. A sacrifice fly gives the NATOs their first lead of the ball game. 2-1. 7th NATO of the inning coming to the plate. It's Colson Miller. Still a runner in scoring position, Logan Clark, with Cale Ayler 90 feet behind him at first. Miller struck out looking and then was hit by a pitch. He's 0 for 1. First pitch from Blevins. Swing and a miss. In on the hands. A big hack from Miller. Couldn't connect. Blevins looks in at his catcher, Merrill. Now at the belt, he fires. High. 1-1 here to Miller. A guy that we talked about yesterday, only really played the last 3 weeks of the season. Blasted 7 home runs. Miller fouls that one back. Ball and 2 strikes here to Colson Miller. He's got to protect. Struck out once in this game. Ball and 2 strikes. Miller got to protect here. If he reaches, Granada's on deck. Blevins trying to keep it at 2-1. NATO's with a newfound lead. Right-hander delivers. Runners go. Miller, check swing, didn't go. It's a double steal. Clark and Ayler both in scoring position now, and the count's even at 2. If Miller can find some grass, it'll be a 4-1 Tornado lead. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Here in the bottom of the 5th, Deuce is wild. 2-1. NATO's leading. The pitch. Miller fouls it back. Might have gone after ball 3 there, but it stays alive. See Coach Mike Victory, cool as a cucumber down there at the foot of the dugout. NATO's effectively fighting for their playoff lives here after dropping game 1 yesterday to Methodist. A loss sends them home. A win puts everybody in the bracket at 1 loss. Pitch to Miller outside, and the count runs full. Out of the 6 teams to make the USA South tournament, only 1 has been eliminated thus far. That was Southern Virginia over in Rocky Mount yesterday afternoon. They dropped 1 to Greensboro and then throttled by North Carolina Wesley in the 1 seed. Payoff pitch to Miller. Swing and a miss. Miller couldn't get it. He went upstairs. Couldn't catch up. A strikeout there, but the NATOs do plate 2 runs to take the lead as we head to the 6th. Jacob Thompson back out on the bump with the lead now. Top of the 6th, NATO's with their first lead of the ball game. All of a sudden, 2-1 to tally as Jacob Thompson's back out there. First pitch to Wood, misses downstairs. Thompson has not allowed a run since the leadoff home run. "19 batters straight without allowing a run. That one can't cut the corner. Thompson wanted it. NATO fans not happy with the lack of a strike call there. 2-0. In the dirt, 3-0. Wood is 0 for 1. He's walked and flied out. Thompson in danger of putting him on here, though. Thompson 2 for 5 in terms of retiring the leadoff man. Gets a strike there. Thompson at 78 pitches. Could be his last inning. 3-1. In there for strike 2. Good breaking ball right on the inside part of the plate. Thompson, a payoff pitch. Just misses, ball 4. So leadoff walk, third leadoff walk for Pfeiffer in this one. It'll bring up Ben Barnes. NATO fans not happy with that call, but I do have to say it was the right one. That pitch did miss outside. I think they might be more mad about the curveball that wasn't called. As you see Austin Wood down there digging out a little path for himself. Thompson's picked off a couple of runners today, so Wood can't get too ambitious with his lead. First pitch to Barnes on the outside corner, strike 1. Got to be really careful with Barnes here. One swing of the bat, and he could give Pfeiffer the lead right back. 9 home runs on the year for him. Thompson stares in, now the 0-1, misses outside. Thompson, his first time against Pfeiffer, went 5 innings, 5 hits, allowed 3 runs. So far today, 5 innings, 5 hits, 1 run. Jacob with the 1-1, no, a throw over to first, keeping Wood close. The 1-1 popped up. Left side, Morton drifting back. He'll give way to Logan Clark, who's got it for out number 1. Barnes retired. That'll bring up Corey Lackey, who's 0 for 2. He's put the ball on the ground a couple of times. A 6-3 put out and then a 5-4 fielder's choice. Lackey, then Javier, who's reached both times. If he puts the ball on the ground again here for the 3rd time, could spell the end of the 6th for Pfeiffer. 1 away, another throw over to first, not in time. One away. Thompson, a really long pause here. Another throw over to first. And some complaints from the Pfeiffer area over how long of pauses Thompson is saying that they got to have a clock. I will say he's not exactly going to the plate quick as that breaking ball drops in there for a strike. This has felt like a playoff baseball game all the way around. Every pitch matters. The 0-1 to Lackey. Skied. Left side, Morton and Vasquez both back. Frankie's underneath it, and he gloves it for out number 2. So Lackey retired for the 3rd time. And here's Joe Javier. He's walked and singled. Javier 1 for 1. Over on first is Wood. Thompson at 85 pitches. If he can get a quick out here, we might see him for the 7th. Strike 1. if he does retire Javier in a quick manner, would not be surprised to see him at least to start the 7th with the bottom 3 in the order up after Javier, who takes strike 2 on the outside corner. Thompson a strike away here from sending us to the bottom of the 6th. 1 strikeout for him on the afternoon. Could make it 2 right here. Ahead 0-2 on Javier with 2 away and a runner on first. 2-1 ball game. The pitch is lined through the right side for a base hit. Pyle comes up on it. Wood will not try for third, and now 2 on with 2 away. Thompson gives up the single with 2 outs. He was ahead as well. Good 2-strike hitting there from Joe Javier. It was 2 for 2. Looks like Victory is going to let Thompson work here on Carter Merrill, who's 0 for 2. The light-hitting catcher, a 179 average in the regular season, only 5 base hits and 28 at-bats. And he takes strike 1. Go-ahead run is aboard for Pfeiffer here in the 6th in the form of Javier over at first. Tying run at second, that's Austin Wood. 0-1. Breaking ball froze him, 0-2. And Thompson once again a strike away from sending us to the home half of the 6th. Due up for the NATOs are Granada, Jennings, and Sawyer. The 0-2. Just missed the corner there. Thompson unfazed. Still ahead 1-2. NATO faithful wanted it. A ball and 2 strikes here to Merrill. Trying to protect. He's grounded into a double play and flied out to right. The 1-2. Breaking ball misses. 2-2. Thompson's going to have to reel it back in here. Got to imagine this could be his last hitter of the ball game. At 92 pitches, the 2-2. Off the hands, Q shot. Ayler knocks it down. He's not going to have a play. Thompson wasn't able to get to first in time to cover. It was a nice play by Ayler. The bases are loaded off of the infield single. So now the go-ahead run is in scoring position. Victory is going to show trust, though, in Jacob Thompson. Still see, I believe, Andy Farringer. Yeah, Farringer warming up in the pen. Thompson, some bad luck there. Light contact from Merrill, but hit it in the right spot to get the infield single. So back-to-back 2-out singles have the bases loaded with 2 outs for Thomas Ashby. Ashby has singled and struck out. First pitch. Breaking ball misses high. Nowhere to put him here. And certainly this should be Thompson's last hitter. Win, lose, or draw. Clear. If he does give up a base hit, he will certainly get pulled. Pitch number 95 is in for a strike. Crosby went 6 innings yesterday, gave up 4 runs. Thompson trying to get through 6, allowing just the 1 run. Ball and a strike. The righty comes home. In the air, right field. Pyle, under it. And he's got it for out number 3. Thompson escapes the bases loaded jam. We are through 5.5 here at Gilcone Field. NATO's leading it 2-1. Bottom 3 in the order coming up when we return. Bottom of the sixth, new pitcher in for Pfeiffer is number 7, Jordan Bird. Bird, a senior right-hander, 6'10", 205 out of Mebane, North Carolina. And for Bird, only 8 appearances for him on the year, 1 start, 7 times out of the pen. He's got a 1-0 record, 7 strikeouts to 4 walks for him, an ERA of 2.61 and a whip of 116. So looks like Pfeiffer trying to pull out their big guns out of the bullpen to keep this thing where it's at 2-1. Bird will draw the bottom 3 of the NATO order, Granada, Jennings, and Sawyer. Final line for Blevins, 5 innings, 3 hits, 2 runs, none earned after the error put a man aboard, 3 walks and 3 strikeouts. That's going to be the end of the line for him. He makes it 5 innings. Jacob Thompson goes 6, assuming that that is the last we see of him. Thompson went 6 innings, allowed just the 1 run on the leadoff homer. After that, settled in. Struggled with walks a little bit, didn't get a whole lot of swings and misses, but pitched to contact and did it well, if that is indeed the end of the day for the Tornado Junior. So the first call to the bullpen that we've seen for either side. Jordan Bird finishes up his warm-ups. Merrill throws down to second. We're just about ready to go here. In the bottom of the 6th, getting closer and closer to the climax of this one. Granada will be the first man to face Bird. Granada's 0 for 1. He's walked and hit into a fielder's choice, which normally would not be noteworthy, but that fielder's choice was a fly ball that dropped in front of the left fielder. We saw Colson Miller kind of get stuck up on the base pass and thrown out at second after it dropped in. Bird's first pitch misses outside. He falls away. Brings all that 6'10" frame off the mound with him. Imposing presence out there on the mound. 1-0 misses low. They had to special order this guy's baseball pants. Bird, the 2-0. Hit hard in the air to center, but Ashby just has to move a few feet and makes the grab for out number 1. So Granada retired. And here's Hayden Jennings. Hayden 0 for 2. He's popped out and flied out in his 2 appearances. Still looking for his first base knock of the USA South Tournament. 1 away. Pitch from Bird. Nearly comes in and gets Jennings. He ducks out of the way. See a butterfly out there on Gilcone Field. Hopefully that spells good luck for the NATOs throughout the rest of this one. Superstitions. 1-0. Jennings takes strike 1. Bird facing the bottom 3 of this tornado order, already set down Granada. Trying to do the same to Jennings and Sawyer. Breaking ball drops in. I think Jennings bailed out a little bit too early on that one. Ball and 2 strikes here to the NATO catcher. Bird comes home. That one's in the air. Shallow left field. Farrell up under it, and he's got it for out number 2. A couple of flyouts off of Bird to start his afternoon. Going to bring up Logan Sawyer.
Now batting for the Tornado, second baseman number 9, Logan Sawyer.
Sawyer up with 2 outs and nobody aboard. That one misses high. Sawyer has reached a couple of times on a single and an error. "1-0 gets him there. Looks like he's all right. He sticks the tongue out as he heads over to first. So no 1-2-3 inning to be had for Jordan Bird out of the bullpen. Still 2 away. Here's Pyle. CP had that really crucial double in the 5th. They had the Natos with 2 men in scoring position and nobody out. They did end up driving in both guys. As a result, they lead it 2-1 here in the bottom of the 6th. First pitch to Pyle, misses low and out. Natos trying to get some 2-out hitting going here. Natos have been out hit 7-3, but still hold a lead. Would love some insurance, though, over these next couple of frames. The 1-0 is hit in the air, right field, going back on it and making the catch is the right fielder, Robbie Brown. CP got a lot of that one, but right to the right fielder, Brown. Natos get a hit by pitch, but can't do anything with it. They lead it 2-1 as we head to the top of the 7th with a new arm coming in. Top 7, Cesar Rodriguez, new pitcher, lefty on the mound. Not a velocity guy, but does hit his spots. A good control pitcher from the left side with his small stature. Cesar 1-0, 7 appearances for him on the year. Came through late due to injury for a lot of the early to mid portion of the season. Cesar 4 strikeouts, 5 walks, an ERA just under 7, 6.75. A whip of 1.92, and Cesar going to try and keep this game where it is, 2-1 Natos. He will face off against Robbie Brown, Zach Farrell, and Wilson Lohr. 9-1-2 due up for Pfeiffer. And for the Falcons, Farrell and Lohr, 2 of their most dangerous hitters, obviously, but both from the left side, and probably part of the thought process by Coach Victory to bring in the lefty here, trying to get those lefty-lefty matchups. You see Frankie Vasquez coming over with some words of encouragement by the mound for Rodriguez. And you know Frankie wants this win. He wants to keep playing. The whole team, obviously, including Coach Victory and all. But you know number 19 wants to keep going, the competitor in him. As Robbie Brown digs in. He's 0 for 1, a walk and a flyout. Here in the 7th. First pitch. Breaking ball in there for a strike. Do see some throwing in the Pfeiffer bullpen. Wonder if we'll see Jordan Bird back out for the bottom of the 7th. Might depend on what they do at the plate. Brown rather, goes after that one on a check swing. Rodriguez made him look foolish. No balls, 2 strikes. Rodriguez ahead here. See if he breaks him off. Oh, I don't know where that one missed. Ball and 2 strikes. Rodriguez surely thought he had strike 3 there. Brown probably thought he did too, but he stays alive, 1-2. Not what Brown was looking for. The 1-2. Misses with the curveball there, 2-2. Man, I wish we had the pitch tracker for that ball one. We could see where it missed. Even count, 2-2. The lefty, Rodriguez, comes home. Chopped on the ground. Vasquez waits on it, picks it up, and fires across. Ayler comes off the bag but steps back on it for out number one. Brown falls to the ground coming through the bag. Might have tripped over Ayler's foot, but he's retired for out number one. Farrell up now. He's 1 for 3, but has smoked the ball all 3 times. A leadoff home run, a fly out to center in the deep part of the yard, and then a line out to CP Pyle and right. All 3 times he's gotten a good piece, though, but now facing a lefty. Had the righty Thompson all 3 of those trips. That one, Farrell out in front of it, fouling it off down the right side. Rodriguez trying to go 1-2-3 against some pretty tough hitters. Has the one out already, and he misses off the outside there, 1-1 to Farrell. Farrell's driven in the only run for Pfeiffer, and that was on the first at-bat of the ball game with a solo home run to right. That one hit on the ground. Ayler picks it up on a hop, foot race to the bag, and he's going to win it. 3 unassisted there. And a quick 2 outs for Rodriguez as Wilson Laurer steps in. Laurer 1 for 3.
Now batting first baseman number 28, Wilson Laurer.
Two away. That one is smoked past Sawyer, 2-out single. Laurer was all over that one. And with 2 outs, Pfeiffer has a man aboard for Austin Wood.
Now batting shortstop number 22, Austin Wood.
Wood 0 for 1. 2 walks with a fly out to right, sandwiched in between. Two down here. Rodriguez's first offering. Misses on the outside corner, and Rodriguez not getting that part of the zone at all. Has had a couple of really good pitches, not ruled strikes. Tying run on first, the 1-0. Breaking ball. Set on the ground. Morton bobbles, throws to second, and gets the out. Rodriguez sends him down scoreless in the 7th. Time to stretch here at Gilcone Field. The NATOs still clinging on to a 2-1 lead, looking for some insurance with Morton, Clark, and Ayler coming to the plate. Home half of the 7th, Luke Morton stepping into the box. Luke is 0 for 3, but he did drive in a run with an RBI ground out back in the 5th. Looking for his first base knock in this one. Behind him will be Logan Clark and Cale Ayler. Jordan Bird, the 6'10 righty, back out there for his second inning of work. Hit Logan Sawyer with a pitch, but did not allow any base hits in that 6th. That one right down the middle for strike 1. Surprisingly, for a 6'10 guy, Bird doesn't look like he has a whole lot of crazy velocity. Does seem to hit his spots, though. Only 8 appearances on the year for him. The 0-1. Fouled back.
I don't think he's throwing as hard as Randy Johnson. I don't know how you, if you're 6'10", you got this.
0-2 here to Luke Morton. The pitch. Behind him. That one certainly not where Bird wanted to put it. Still ahead, though, 1-2 to the NATO shortstop. Morty 1 for 7 so far in the tournament. Looking for base hit number 2. He fouls that one off down the right side. He stays alive. Ball and 2 strikes still here to Morton. Bird kicks and fires. Morton right back up the middle for a base hit. A little toss of the bat as he heads down the line. A leadoff single. Only the 4th base hit of the ball game for the Tornadoes.
For the Tornadoes, center fielder number 15, Logan Clark.
And it'll bring up Logan Clark. Clark 0 for 2. He's grounded out, he's flied out, and he was hit by a pitch last time. Clark was stranded on 3rd with the Colson Miller strikeout. He takes strike 1 on the outside corner. The 0-1. Low and outside, 1-1. Throw over to first, but Luke Morton able to get in, just stepping over. Didn't need a dive. Not a whole lot going on in either bullpen right now. Seem happy with the guys that they've got out there. 1-1 to Clark. Outside, 2-1. NATO's looking for some insurance here. Hitters count here to Clark. 2-1. Morton goes. Throw down to second is not in time. It's going to get into the outfield, but it is backed up by the shortstop, Austin Wood. Heads up by him there to stop Morton from getting 2 bases there. But the steal puts Morton in scoring position. It was a ball, so Clark's ahead 3-1. 3 balls and a strike here to the NATO center fielder, the senior Clark. The pitch from Bird. Whacked in the air, left field, but right to Zach Farrell, who makes the catch. Morton will think about tagging, but thinks better of it. There's out number 1. Runner does still advance in the process of Clark's at-bat, so not all for naught. Clark, that's happened to him a couple of times so far in this tournament where he's put the bat on the ball with some really hard contact, but not had anything to show for it. A little bit harder, and that one could have been a bomb. Instead, a fly out to Fairly deep left field, Zach Farrell out there. Here's Cale Ayler. Cale 0 for 2. He walked his last time, still looking for his first hit of this tournament. That one misses. Ball and no strikes here to Cale Ayler. Frankie Vasquez on deck. NATOs have a man in scoring position. It's Luke Morton. The 1-0. Ooh, breaking ball. Ayler thought it was a ball. It's called a strike. Looked like it hung up a bit. Ayler could have swung at that one. Count even now for Cale. 1-1, one away. Bird takes a deep breath. Now the 1-1. Big swing and a miss there from Ayler. Cale got to protect. Down 1-2 here. 2 runs, 4 hits for the NATOs. 1 run, 8 hits for the Falcons. The 1-2. Ayler takes low and inside. Count evened up. You've got the umpires in the field discussing something to each other. Not sure what that was about. Yelling something to each other from across the field. Count 2-2. Ayler trying to drive in another tornado run. Bird, the 2-2. Low and inside again, 3-2. Another full count here for Ayler. He walked last time, trying to get on board here any way he can. Payoff pitch coming here from Bird. Here it is. Ayler in the air, deep right field. That one is going, and that one is gone. Cale Ayler, touch 'em all. His first hit of the USA South Tournament is a long one. He's fired up as he runs around second. He drives in Morton and himself. It's 4-1 NATOs. Look at Cale Ayler releasing frustration into that baseball on a payoff pitch. It's 4-1 Brevard. Cale Ayler, deep to right. The only question for that one was it going to stay fair? And it did.
Now batting for Tornadoes, third baseman number 19, Frankie Vasquez.
4-1 NATOs as Frankie Vasquez steps into the plate, and that was a costly mistake by Jordan Bird. Vasquez fouls that one off, and Coach Huckey once again Buckners it. That's right. We're keeping an eye on Coach Huckey, and I don't know what his defensive metrics are saying right now. Got to go check StatCast for the Steve Huckey information, but it's not looking good the last couple of days since he came up and talked smack to me. The 0-1, he thought he was going to get another chance there. Instead, it goes into the Tornado dugout foul. Sorry, Coach Huckey's more known for his bat anyways. 0-2 to Vasquez. In the dirt, skips past the catcher Merrill. Man, it felt like this whole tournament, even with the lead here right now, the NATOs had just been waiting for something to get excited about, and Cale Ayler delivered it right there. NATOs can breathe a bit easier with the 3-run lead as Frankie pokes one to right field, going back on it and making the grab for out number 2 is Robbie Brown. Frankie hit that one pretty deep. Gave his best shot at going back-to-back with Ayler. Looked like he might have had a word or two for a Pfeiffer infielder as he headed back over. He doesn't look too phased.
Now batting for the Tornadoes, DH number 25, Colson Miller.
Here's Miller with 2 away. Pretty quiet game offensively for both sides, but Cale Ayler just extended the lead to 4-1. It was a 2-1 game, hanging in the balance with every pitch as Miller takes a strike in on the hands. Miller 0 for 2. That one skipped in the dirt. One and one here to Miller. The 1-1. Misses there. 2-1. Two balls and a strike. Hitters count here to Colson Miller. Takes a ball low and out. Still no real movement in that Pfeiffer bullpen. They're going to let Bird ride this one out, it looks like, with 2 down. Might see someone get up if Miller walks. Three-1. Miller pops that one back foul, and the count runs full. Bird, another payoff pitch coming here. The last one ended up as a home run. We'll see what comes with this one. Miller takes ball 4. 2-out walk puts Colson Miller aboard for Lucas Granada. Lucas 0 for 2. He walked back in the second. After that, a fielder's choice and a fly out to center. Pfeiffer does have a man up in the pen now. Looks like we're going to get a pinch runner, Jordan Rowell, here for Colson Miller.
Now running at first base for the Tornadoes, number 0, Jordan Rowell.
Do have an arm up in the pen for Pfeiffer. We'll update you when we see who that is once we get confirmation on the number. Throw over to first. We're going to make sure that the new runner, Jordan Rowell, is paying attention. He is. He dives back in safely. Got the pink arm sleeve on. In the pen is Chance Hunt for Pfeiffer. Pitch to Granada, low and outside. 1-0 is smashed over to Huckey. He bobbles it but does recover and throws back over to the pitcher. We'll give him a 75-25 on that one. He stuck with it. That might be the most interesting part of this game is analyzing and nitpicking Coach Huckey's defense over there in the coach's box. Exactly. Rowell goes. It's on the ground. Javier has it, throws on to first. It's in the dirt, but scooped up and corralled by Wilson Lohr. But Cale Ayler strikes for a deep 2-run homer to right, extending the NATO's lead to 4-1. As we head to the top of the 8th, NATO's leading it by 3 with Barnes, Lackey, and Javier coming up for the Falcons. Top of the 8th. Pinch hitter stepping in here for Ben Barnes. It's number 2, Connor Welker. Looking at the batters for Pfeiffer. For Welker, a 147 average on the year, so an interesting move to pull out Ben Barnes, who has 9 home runs on the year and an OPS over 1. A bunt attempt here. Rodriguez gets to it, spins, throws in time. So the pinch hit move does not pay off for Pfeiffer. 1 pitch, 1 out for Cesar Rodriguez. Welker tried to place a bunt down and catch the Natos sleeping. Here's Corey Lackey. Lackey 0 for 3. Natos leading at 4-1. 5 outs away from staying alive another day. First pitch is a ball to Lackey. Will be interesting if Rodriguez gets through this 8th quickly, if they just stick with him in the 9th or go to Ethan Coleman. That one off the hands, fouled on the right side. Got a good piece, but hit it over towards the tarp. Rodriguez, even count here, 1-1 to Lackey, the second baseman. That one's off the hands and just foul. Took a bad hop on Ayler, thankfully in foul territory. Now Rodriguez ahead 1-2. So here's the scenario. If the Natos win this ball game, they're on to tomorrow regardless. Pfeiffer and Methodist will match back up. Yesterday, Pfeiffer got a 14-13 victory over the Monarchs in a game that saw 12 hit-by pitches between the two teams. 14-13 final. Pfeiffer got the best of Methodist as Lackey pokes at one and sends it foul. Ooh, nearly got a car over there. But Natos basically would have their way on to Saturday. Pfeiffer and Methodist would match up later this afternoon. And the winner of that game would take on the Natos for essentially the championship on this side of the bracket for a spot in the USA South Championship, likely in Rocky Mount against North Carolina Wesleyan. Lackey again fouls that one off. Ball and 2 strikes here still to Lackey, who's fighting to stay alive. The 1-2. On the ground. Sawyer's got it on a bounce. Throw on to first is a bit high. Ayler has to come up off the bag, but lands on it in time for out number 2. I'll tell you what, these pitchers and infielders have had Cale Ayler working over there at first today. Some throws that have caused him to move around a little bit, but no harm, no foul to this point. Only the 1 Pfeiffer run, and that was on a tater. So 2 away for Joe Javier, who is yet to be retired. A walk and 2 singles. Rodriguez trying to change that. Javier takes a ball inside on the curve. (1-0) from Rodriguez. Misses high. Carter Merrill on deck. You would love to retire Javier here so you have it set up where you get the bottom 3 in the order in the 9th. Obviously, you got to take things one batter at a time, though. The 2-0 here from Caesar. Misses 3-0. Looks like that might not happen unless Rodriguez can climb back in here. Merrill on deck. 3-0. In there for a strike. 3-1. Pitch from Rodriguez. On the ground. Morton backs up on it. Gets it. Throw on to first. Not in time, and it gets by Ayler. An infield single there. Morton kind of had to step back and wait on it, then fire across, and it was not going to be in time regardless to get Javier, but he's not able to advance on the errant throw.
Now batting catcher number 15, Carter Miller.
So 9 hits for Pfeiffer, and all but one of them have been singles. The one extra base hit was the leadoff homer. 2 away here for Merrill, who takes the ball. Rodriguez starting to miss glove side a little bit. Trying to put away Merrill, the 7-0 hitter. Throw over to first just to keep Javier in check. The 1-0. Breaking ball in there for a strike. One and one here to Merrill, the Pfeiffer catcher. Nato's 4 outs away. That one misses low. Holding a 3-run lead. Oops. 2-1. Curveball just misses. That call has not been there all afternoon for the Natos. Rodriguez at 27 pitches. Behind 3-1 here. He comes home. On the ground, left side. Backhanded pick by Morton. Throw on to second. What a play. Luke Morton with a nice play there. Range to his right. Hobbles off a little bit. Slid to one knee, made the backhanded pick, and tossed it to Sawyer at second for out number 3. The Natos are 3 outs away from clinching a spot in Saturday's contest against either Pfeiffer or Methodist, leading 4-1. When we get back, it'll be Jennings, Sawyer, and Pyle. Home half of the 8th. Hopefully the last time we see the Tornadoes come to the plate in this one. Hayden Jennings, Logan Sawyer, and C.P. Pyle will be the hitters against Jordan Bird, who's back out for his 3rd inning. Pfeiffer might be changing strategy here and going to try and let Bird stick this one out, even after giving up the 2-run homer last inning, realizing that they might be in danger of playing another game later on this afternoon, as that one skips in the dirt. Want to conserve arms as much as they can. And that's the difficulty with this 3-team bracket double elimination. You run out of arms, you are in a really tough spot if you waste them all early on. 1-0 from Bird. Is launched high and deep to left field. That one is back and foul. No, it's fair. It's gone. That one looked for sure like it was in foul ground. It's deemed a home run, and Jennings is going to round the bases. A solo shot there. That was crazy. Jennings is hype. He's fired up. It's 5-1 NATOs off of the solo blast from Jennings. I wish we had the replay on that because it certainly, obviously not complaining, certainly looked like it was hook and foul. The field umpire's got a better view than we do up here, and he said it was a 4-bagger. Second home run off of Jordan Bird. And here's Sawyer. 5-1 NATO lead. Showing bunt and waving and missing there is Sawyer. NATO offense has come alive. Went through the first 5 innings scoreless. Since then have dropped 5 runs. Oh, 1 in there for strike 2. It was clear that Jennings got it deep enough. It just didn't look like he straightened it out quite enough in that left field side, but he did, and now that one hits Sawyer. Ahead 0-2, Sawyer gets hit with a curveball, second straight at bat that he's been hit by a pitch. Going to have to ice up after this one before tomorrow.
Now batting for the Tornadoes, right fielder number 49, C.P. Pyle.
So here's Pyle. A home run and a hit by pitch to start off the bottom of the 8th. CP 1 for 3. See guys in the bullpen getting loose. Pfeiffer might have no choice but to go away from Jordan Bird. First pitch to Pyle. He shows bunt himself. It pulls back and takes ball 1. One-0. Check swing. Doesn't go around. 2-0. If Pyle reaches a chance for the NATOs to really break this one open, holding a 4-run lead, they've still been out-hit by Pfeiffer. 5 runs on 6 hits for the NATOs, and here goes Sawyer to second. Throw by Merrill is not in time. Heads into center field. Sawyer's going to take off for third. Coming up and not having any play is Ashby. A stolen base with an E2 there. Bad throw by Merrill. Puts Sawyer 90 feet away with nobody out. And by the way, a moment ago, that home run for Jennings was the second of his career, the junior catcher out of South Carolina. 3-0. In there for a strike. NATOs with a 4-run lead. Chance for another one in the form of Sawyer, who's 90 feet away. That one off the hands. It's going to be caught. Javier nearly got taken out by his shortstop, Austin Wood. He just avoided him. And a pop out there on a 3-1 count for C.P. Pyle retires him.
Now batting for the Tornadoes, shortstop number 3, Luke Morton.
Here's Morton. He singled his last time and then was driven in on the Ayler home run. One away. Pitch to Morton is a curveball that drops in perfectly for strike 1. And I just want to credit Jacob Thompson. Obviously, we talked about NATO offense was super stagnant and cold through the first 5 innings, and Thompson just continued to battle. Ended up going the 6 innings with just 1 run allowed as that curveball misses. But to only give up the 1 run while the NATO offense was struggling so mightily the first half of this game was absolutely huge. And we talked about Thompson being a big game pitcher prior to the start of this one, and he lived up to that billing. As a matter of fact, that solo home run still the only run on the board for the Falcons. who have had opportunities. They've left 7 on base. That one, jam shot off the hands of Morton. He's thrown out at first. No! A wild throw by Bird gets away. Morton's going to get to second. Sawyer will score. Morton's going to round third and try it. The throw across the diamond is going to have him dead to rights. Morton thrown out. So Morton reaches on the E1. A throwaway by Bird, and then he's thrown out trying to get third by the first baseman.
Now batting for the Tornadoes, center fielder number 15, Logan Clark.
So a E1-3-5. Does drive in a run, though, 6-1. 2 away as Logan Clark takes a ball. We've had some wacky plays in this one. That one may be the most of all. 1-0. Fouled off by Clark. 1-1. Nobody up and warming in the NATO pen, so it looks like it will be Cesar Rodriguez for the ninth with a 5-run lead, at least. Still technically a chance for the NATOs to add on with 2 away, and the base is empty. Ball and a strike. 2 down here in the bottom of the 8th. 6-1 ball game. NATO's leading. Breaking ball drops in there for a strike. Tornadoes trying to clinch their spot in a winner-take-all tomorrow afternoon for a spot in the USA South Championship round. 1-2. Nearly hits Morton, or Clark rather. Don't know how he got out of the way of that one. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 away here in the bottom of the 8th. NATOs have struck for 2 more to make it 6-1. Low and outside, full count. Jordan Bird, another payoff pitch coming here. 6'10 righty deals. That one sent on the ground, foul. Another payoff coming here in just a moment to the Tornado center fielder Clark. Here it is. Got him looking strike 3. Clark, a little bit annoyed at that call, it looks like, but it looked like the right one. Clark down on strikes, where the NATOs get a pair of runs to add some insurance. They lead it 6-1 as we head to the 9th. It's winning time here at Gil Cone Field. Top of the ninth, Cesar Rodriguez trying to close this thing out and keep the Nados alive for another day. If the Tornadoes do get this victory, they will play tomorrow afternoon in a winner-take-all against the winner of Pfeiffer Methodist Part 2, which will commence later this afternoon. Cesar Rodriguez back out there, and he throws strike one to Thomas Ashby. 8, 9, and 1 hitters for Rodriguez here in the ninth. Ashby 1 for 3, singled back in the second, since then a strikeout and a flyout. The 0-1. In the air, center field, Clark, can of corn, out number 1. Here's Robbie Brown. He's 0 for 2. Walked back in the third. Flyout and a ground out as well. First pitch from Rodriguez. Grounded up the middle, base hit. Also, forgot to note a defensive replacement. Sawyer is out at second base. That's Davis Bryson now, a defensive commodity, playing second to try and close this one out. 1 out single, though, for Robbie Brown, and it brings out the top of the order, Zach Farrell.
Now batting left field number 6, Zach Farrell.
Farrell 1 for 4. He is the only Pfeiffer RBI. It was a solo home run on the second pitch of this game. Take strike one there. Second time the lefty Rodriguez has drawn Farrell. Got him to ground out to first. Trying to retire him again here. That one in there for strike 2. Farrell doesn't like it. Now in on 0-2 hole. The 0-2. Fouled off. And a game that through the first half, at least on the offensive front, looked really uninspiring by the Tornadoes, has flipped on its head these last 3 or so innings. Sees the Nados holding a 6-1 lead, 2 outs away. Rodriguez a throw over to first to keep Brown close. Caesar ahead 0-2 here on Zach Farrell. Misses there. First team all-conference selection, Zach Farrell. Left fielder for the Falcons. Still behind 1-2, the pitch. In the air. Right center field, Clark will come underneath it and make the grab. Looked like it might drop for a moment, but it hung up in time for Clark to get there. Out number 2, Cesar Rodriguez and the Tornadoes are an out away from clinching their spot in Saturday's contest. Whether it be against these Falcons again or against the Methodist Monarchs that knocked off the Tornadoes yesterday afternoon. Those two will face off here in this exact place in just a little bit. With 2 outs, here's Wilson Laurer, who takes ball 1. The last hope for the Falcons, going to need a heck of a rally, down 5 with 2 away. That one back up the middle for a base hit. It'll move Brown up to second. 2 out single. The throw by Clark goes over the head of Bryson and Rodriguez, but Hayden Jennings there to back it up. Brown not going anywhere. Second knock here in the 9th for the Falcons. And it'll bring up Austin Wood. Wood 0 for 2, a couple of walks as well as a flyout and a fielder's choice. 2 outs. Nados just need 1 more to finish this one off. A wheel and a throw over to second. Rodriguez keeping a close eye on Brown. That one's in there for a strike. No balls on a strike here to Wood, the 3-hole hitter and the shortstop for Pfeiffer. Another wheel and a throw to second. Brown gets in there. Rodriguez trying to get the 3-inning save. The lefty senior out of Miami, Florida. The 0-1. In the dirt, 1-1. Pfeiffer does have 2 aboard with 2 outs. Do trail it by 5, though. And you got to feel like, without a whole lot of knowledge on Methodist and Pfeiffer's pitching staffs, that the NATOs are the most equipped on Saturday. Rodriguez gets one in there for strike 2. Because NATOs only have 1 more game, they'll be able to use Blake Altshuler and Cameron Cook, their 2 remaining starters, as they please. Also still yet to use Ethan Coleman or Andy Farringer out of the pen. 1-2, fouled off. Liner down the right side. Wood stays alive. Ball and 2 strikes. Rodriguez still ahead here. Can play with a pitch if he wants. Try and get him to chase. A long stare in. The southpaw comes set at the belt. And the pitch. Popped up. Right side. Ehlers not going to have a play on this one. Tried to pretend he did. Little deke reach over the fence there. That ball was well out of reach. One thing we didn't notice all game was Kenny Powers coaching first for Pfeiffer. He's bounding down. Rodriguez, the 1-2. Breaking ball smashed to the left side. Coming up on it, Granada. He will bobble it, and Brown is not going to try to score. He didn't realize. So it'll just be a single to load the bases up. And now a pinch hitter coming in, Jawan Yun. Don't have any background on Yun, but he comes in with the bases loaded. This spot in the lineup was originally Ben Barnes, who was pinch hit for Connor Welker. Now Jawan Yun, the 3rd batter in that 4-hole. Bases are loaded. Rodriguez still just needs 1 more out. He's allowed 3 singles here in the 9th. First pitch. Breaking ball drops in for a strike. Yeah, Kenny Powers at first and third, actually. If you take a look. Sick mullets. The 0-1. Misses. Low and inside. Rodriguez battling, trying to find that 3rd out here. Leading by 5 still. One. Popped up. Jennings trying to find it. It's out of play. Rodriguez again ahead here with a 1-2 count. He got up on Austin Wood, who ended up finding a single. NATO's a strike away from a USA South Tournament victory, clinching a spot on Saturday. The 1-2 in the dirt. Good block by Jennings. 2-2. On deck is Corey Lackey, who's 0 for 4. We are seeing some stirring in the Tornado bullpen. No throwing, though. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 away. The pitch from Rodriguez just misses. Stone cold take there from Jawan Yun. Rodriguez just cannot find this last strike right now. You see Coach Victory in the dugout frustrated. Count runs full. Rodriguez. A payoff pitch. Ball 4. A bases loaded walk, and it's 6-2. Rodriguez was ahead 1-2, and to put it bluntly, a walk there is unacceptable. Rodriguez has got to dial it in here. Sitting at 50 pitches out of the bullpen. And he's got Corey Lackey. Game-tying run coming to the plate here in the form of Lackey, who's yet to record a hit here today. He's 0 for 4. He's grounded out 3 times and popped out once. Two away still with the bases loaded in a 6-2 ball game. Breaking ball misses. That inside corner to the right-handers for Rodriguez just has not been there from the home plate umpire. 1-0. In there for a strike. He gets the inside corner there with the fastball. Natos trying desperately to find this third out. Got the first 2 pretty quickly. Rodriguez trying to dig deep. The 1-1. Sent up the middle for a base hit. 1 run will come across. Rounding third and stopping will be Wood. It's 6-3, and now all of a sudden the go-ahead run coming to the plate. Rodriguez gives up another run. 8th Pfeiffer Falcon of the inning coming to the plate. And still nobody up and throwing. Now we do have a man up and throwing. It looks like Farringer with 2 away. All the Natos have to do is record 1 more out, and it's been a really tough task. Rodriguez got a fly out from Ashby, then gave up a single to Robbie Brown, who just scored the second run a moment ago. After that, a line out by Zach Farrell. Since then, though, single, walk, single. A pinch runner coming to first is number 32, Christian Thomas. Thomas in to run. He represents the tying run. Batter at the plate, Joe Javier representing the go-ahead run. And he's yet to be retired in this one. He's walked and then has 3 singles to go along with that. Victory walks off. Would love to hear what he just said to Rodriguez. The lefty desperately trying to get this third out here. And the longer that this rally continues for Pfeiffer, the more nervous you get as a Tornado fan. 6-3, still a 3-run lead, but the bases are loaded with 2 away here in the top of the 9th. First pitch from Rodriguez. Misses. Rodriguez has consistently fallen behind these last couple of hitters. Got to be a little bit fatigued. Over 50 pitches out of the pen. 1-0. Misses low, 2-0. Rodriguez, only 7 appearances on the year, so fatigue certainly has to be kicking in. 2-0. The pitch. Breaking ball in there for a strike. He needed that. 2-1 here to Javier, who's been a really tough out. (6-3). Farringer up in the pen, the 2-1. Misses, 3-1. Rodriguez has allowed 4 straight base runners since recording the second out. 3 singles and a walk. Now in danger of allowing another one here. The 3-1. In there for strike 2. The count runs full here to Javier. Yet to swing. Rodriguez needs one more pitch to finish this one off. This ninth inning has been extended. Payoff pitch from the lefty. Hits him. A bases loaded hit by pitch. It's 6-4. This is getting ridiculous. Rodriguez just cannot find an out, and he has got to here with Carter Merrill, who has not hit the ball well all season. Only 6 hits on the year in 32 at-bats. Has an infield single in this one. Other than that, grounded into a double play, a fielder's choice, and flew out. Rodriguez now holding on to only a 2-run lead. Go ahead, run on first. Find strike one. Pfeiffer had a late rally yesterday against Methodist in a ball game. They won 14-13, a lower scoring affair here, but threatening once again for a similar type deal. Tying runs on second. That one on the ground. Morton knocks it down. Throw to second is in time! Luke Morton gets him at second. Bryson makes the catch, and the Natos hang on. A dangerous, dangerous ninth inning. That looked like it might be an infield hit. Morton turned, hesitated for just a moment, got it to second for out number 3, and that's going to do it. That kills a Pfeiffer rally here in the ninth, a 6-4 NATO victory, and that was much, much, much tighter than it needed to be down the stretch. The Natos will take the victory however they can get it. That's the first loss of the tournament for Pfeiffer. And now every team with a loss apiece. Methodist and Pfeiffer will take each other on this afternoon. The loser will be sent home. The winner will take on the Tornadoes here tomorrow afternoon. 6-4 the final. Jacob Thompson absolutely shoves. Cesar Rodriguez comes in and pitches 3 solid innings and gets out of a jam at the end. And the offense explodes in the back half of this one. Some much-needed insurance down the stretch for the lineup proved to be the difference. We will be back here in just a moment for final stats, thoughts, and recap. Natos win at 6-4 here at Gil Cone Field, and they stay alive. Back here from Gilcone Field, the NATOs with an exhilarating 6-4 victory. And that was a lot closer than it needed to be. Cesar Rodriguez at the end started to run out of gas a little bit. Just to recap you on how that top of the ninth went, Thomas Ashby flew out to start things off. Then Robbie Brown reached on a single. After that, Zach Farrell lined out. So at that point, the NATOs were looking good. They got 2 outs of the guy on first. Well, after that, Wilson Lohr with a single. Austin Wood with a single. Ji-Won Yun with a walk. Corey Lackey with a single. Joe Javier hit by a pitch. And at that point, that's when the NATOs really started to sweat. That's when we started to sweat up here for sure. And then the last play of the ball game, Carter Merrill hits into a fielder's choice. Luke Morton had to range well to his right, had to hesitate, pump fake, and threw it on to second to get the out. And the NATOs escape with a 6-4 victory. Ultimately, insurance at the end of this one proved to be the difference. In the 8th inning, bottom of the 8th, Hayden Jennings with a solo home run to start things off, and then Logan Sawyer gets hit by a pitch. He steals second with the throw going into the outfield and then takes third, and after that, Luke Morton reaches on an error that ends up scoring Sawyer. Those 2 runs ended up being the difference in this one. NATOs did not score through the first 4 innings. All of a sudden, they got 2 on the board in the 5th to take a 2-1 lead. Pfeiffer had a 1-0 lead those first 4 innings off of a solo shot from Zach Farrell. And then in the 7th, Cale Ayler with a big-time 2-run homer to make it 4-1. And then again, those 2 runs in the 8th made it 6-1. The 3 runs by Pfeiffer in the 9th, not enough. Jacob Thompson, the winning pitcher, and I got to say, he really kept the NATOs in this one. Those first 4 innings, Tornadoes could not get anything going on offense. Thompson ran into some trouble early on and got out of a couple small jams, gave up that leadoff home run, and then immediately after that, a single and a walk. Picked a couple of guys off, really answered the bell when it came to adversity hitting for him in his final line. 6 innings, 7 hits, 1 run earned, 4 walks, and 1 strikeout. After Thompson, it was Cesar Rodriguez who came in to get the 3-inning save. He allowed 6 hits, 3 runs, 1 walk, did not strike anybody out. For Pfeiffer on the pitching side, Jake Blevins went 5 innings, 3 hits, 2 runs, 3 walks, and 3 strikeouts. And it's a shame anytime you go 5 innings and allow 2 runs and take the loss, but that is exactly what happened for him. After Blevins, it was Jordan Bird who came in and, similar to Rodriguez, threw 3 innings out of the pen, allowed 3 hits, 4 runs, 2 homers, 3 earned runs with a walk and a strikeout for him. Taking a look at these lineups, Wilson Lohr for Pfeiffer went 3 for 5 with 3 singles. Joe Javier went 3 for 3 and reached base all 5 times. Other than that, no one with multiple hit games. No one in the Tornado lineup, period, had multiple hit games, but Colson Miller and Lucas Granada and Logan Clark, the only NATOs to not record a hit. CP Pyle was 1 for 4. Luke Morton, 1 for 5. A big single that saw him get driven in on the Cale Ayler home run. Cale Ayler was 1 for 3 with that home run, a 2-run blast into right field, which made a huge difference. Frankie Vasquez was 1 for 3, also had a sacrifice fly to drive in a run. And Hayden Jennings, 1 for 4 with a solo shot in the bottom of the 8th. All told, Pfeiffer, 4 runs, 13 hits, 3 errors, and 9 left on base. The NATOs, 6 runs, 6 hits, no errors, 9 left on base. Jacob Thompson is your winning pitcher. Jake Blevins is your losing pitcher, and Cesar Rodriguez gets the 3-inning save. 6-4. The NATOs clinched their spot in Saturday's contest against the winner of Pfeiffer and Methodist. We saw this matchup yesterday, Pfeiffer getting the 14-13 victory late over the Monarchs. Whoever gets the victory this afternoon will face off against the Tornadoes for the second time tomorrow afternoon here at Gilcone Field. And the winner of that one will have a spot in the USA South Championship game. A really exhilarating game. Kind of had everything you look for in a playoff baseball game. And most of all, a Tornado victory. I am Brady Penn, hopping off. Until next time, let's go NATOs. We will see you tomorrow afternoon.